Hey everyone. I know from the last time I had all my hair and you seen pictures of me being bald, but nope, it's completely gone. Well, somewhat of it, my eyelashes and my eyebrows. So but I just want to say sorry again. I feel like I'm always saying sorry in the beginning of my videos because I go months without making update videos and people are always wondering what's going on with me, and I'm just horrible at updating. But at the same time, when I'm in a bad headspace, I know I say I'm an open book and all that and everything, but in the moment, it was really bad. I got really bad depression, really bad anxiety, and I mean bad. Like, I talked about it before on my previous videos, how I was going through that when I was first diagnosed and stuff like that. But this one takes the cake because it was more than I could handle, to the point to where I felt like I didn't want to wake up, or I told myself I didn't want to wake up because it got that bad. The anxiety attacks were pretty bad, or panic attacks. I don't know which one. It just felt like my body wanted to get up and keep moving and move and move, and I just wanted to lay down and sleep. I did end up in the hospital one time because I hadn't slept for 2 days or eaten for 2 days, and it was getting pretty bad. And also I was trying to figure out pain management and stuff like that to where I wouldn't be in so much pain all the time. And then with the depression, it was just being scared. I literally would wake up every single morning and sit up in my bed and just cry. And just cry and cry and cry, because I'm just like, in my head, I'm just like, how did my life get like this? How is this happening again? How is this happening on a worse scale? Or yeah, and so it just sucks. It was a lot of coming to terms with it. I don't think I've really accepted or come to terms with my diagnosis still, even though I'm this far in with treatment and everything like that. It's just, at that time too, I was thinking in my head, like, how did I get here? How did this happen? Like, how did I go from finishing school, getting ready to start my welding career, being this woman who had a job but had so many side gigs, making money. Like, I was always busy. I was going to school, going into work, and the times I wasn't working, I was cleaning someone's house or making bread, selling sourdough. I was doing anything that could make money. Not like anything, but like just like stuff that I decided to do, like making sourdough and selling it, cleaning people's houses and different things like that, selling at markets at my work when we had those, so like treats and all that. So just stuff like that. I was always a busy person. And then to become, and now fast forward to the person I am now, I can hardly do anything, but mainly because of my back, because it's still pretty messed up. And so, and my hip is bad too. It's just a whole shit show at this point. Sorry for my language, but it is. But that's why I was in my depression, and also death was on my mind a lot. I was very scared that my oncologist would tell me that the chemo isn't working like he did with the oral chemo, and that terrified me, like, beyond what I can think of. And that's why I fell that hard into the depression and anxiety. Thought about dying. I thought about my son. I kept thinking, like, how he would feel if I did pass away, and just leaving him behind is what was really messing me up. And it still gets me just thinking about it, but I'm past that, and I told myself I wouldn't think like that. But those are scary thoughts that come in sometimes, every now and then during this journey, and it sucks. But it's kind of the reality of it too, because you just never know. So but anyways, the last time, I can't remember what I said the last time, but that's pretty much sums up what has been going on in the past few months. But my mindset did change at one of my appointments, but I did get some clarification from my oncologist. He had told me this before, and I don't know why I kind of went out not one ear and out the other. I just didn't really pay too much to it. He gave me back my genealogy. I did a gene study for my cancer, and it's not hereditary, which my cancer's not hereditary, so it didn't come in family. I just have a mutated gene, chromosome, whatever it is. And then he was able to tell me the specific type of cancer that I have. It's like these letters and some numbers. I have the paper, but it's with me. It's in New Mexico. I'm visiting family right now, and so unfortunately, he did show me all these lists of drugs that would help and target my specific cancer, but unfortunately, in New Mexico, they don't have any of those drugs. So, and he said, if I'm willing to travel, these are the drugs type things. And for some reason, I didn't think about it too much. I don't know why I did. I think it was because the same time he told me that, I got news. I got like a physical graph of my tumor markers. I'll get into that in a second. So as I was telling you, my depression, anxiety was getting bad. And if anyone knows me, I do tend to downplay my symptoms of what's going on with myself. Like if I'm in pain or if I don't feel good or anything like that. And my mom in New Mexico has caught on to that. And so she caught on to it quick, because whenever I was in pain, I guess I would look really, really pale. I didn't know that. I never really looked at myself when I was in pain, but when I'm in pain, I guess I look really, really pale. So that was one thing she picked up on. And so I downplay it. I don't do it like on purpose. I do it because I don't want anyone to have to worry about me. Like this whole diagnosis in itself is enough for just enough. And sometimes I feel like a burden. There's some days I do feel like a burden, like, because just the simplest things of, I don't know, getting up to put a dish in the sink. Like I my family helps me with that, but I know I can do it, but I feel like it's such an easy task. Like, just like, it just feels like, and I know everyone would yell at me, you're not a burden, and da-da-da. Like, I know, but it's just me in my mind. I feel like that. And I think it's because, like I've said before, I was a busy woman. I was doing everything. If there was some sort of way to make money, making bread or cleaning houses, I was doing it. So I was independent in that way of doing stuff on my own. So that's why I believe I feel like a burden now, because everyone's having to help me with stuff, but like even the easiest stuff. Anyways, back to downplaying stuff. So, and I do it to my doctor, which is kind of bad, because you want to tell your doctor like every single symptom you're feeling so they can help you with that. But at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, no. And so we went to my doctor's appointment. He's like, how are you doing? And I'm just like, oh, okay, just a little anxiety and depression here and there. That's it. And of course, at this appointment, I had my sister with me, my oldest sister, and my mom in New Mexico with me as well. And so she's like, nope, hold up. That is not what she is going. That is not all she is going through. And I was just like, I knew this was going to happen. So she explained how I went to the hospital for anxiety. My depression has gotten really bad. I've been having these anxiety attacks or panic attacks, whichever. So he looks at me. He's like, well, tell me about this. And I'm just like, and so I explained, went into details, cried here and there. And then he's like, and then he asked me, he's like, what causes your anxiety? I was like, I think coming here. And he's like, what makes coming here give you anxiety? I was like, just being told that it's not working anymore. And I think because I have when I first saw him, and I think I have that 1 to 5 years stuck in my head, even though I know that's just statistics, and that's what they have to tell patients is the statistics. They have to tell them that. And so I think the 1 to 5 was really in my head a lot. So that was really bugging me as well. And I just told him, I was like, for you to tell me that the chemo's not working, just like you did with the oral chemo. And just hearing those words, it's scary. It's scary for a person who has what I have, hearing that it's not working anymore. Those are the 3 words. It's not, yeah. I had to double check that it was 3 words. That hearing it's not working are kind of the 3 scary words you don't want to hear as a cancer patient. Or the chemo's not, either way. You know what I mean? So he's like, hold on. Let me go grab something and I'll be right back. So he comes back and tells me, he's like, if I got handed this or I was given this, my anxiety would go away. And I was like, well, what is it? And so he gave me this graph. Let's see if I can hold it up for you. This here. Where it is, like in the middle of the graph, is when I first started chemo. And obviously you can tell my tumor markers are up there. And then, of course, it started to go upwards. And I believe that's when I was on the oral chemo. And that's when he told me that the oral chemo wasn't working anymore. So at the peak of the graph, I believe is when I had my first IV chemo. And that was the chemo that was really strong. And it kind of bottomed me out in my white blood cells. And that's why it dropped so drastically. And that's also the reason why I ended up in the hospital with an infection in my jaw. So, but after that and being in the hospital and stuff like that, it continued to stay at this low point. And it has continued to stay at that low point even after being released from the hospital, when I was in the hospital for, I think, almost like a month. So that kind of helped me seeing that physically, like in a graph like that, it drastically going down instead of hearing just tumor marker numbers. It really helped my mindset of like, it is working, it's working, like we're okay, we're gonna be okay, it's working. And so after seeing that, I started crying, my sister started crying, my mom started crying. And so then the doctor was like, I'm just gonna step out, like this is a moment for you guys. And so seeing that helped a lot with my mind. But then it brings me back to what he had said before about how there's no the list of drugs I told you about previously, and if I'm willing to travel and stuff like that. So when I got home, I was like, wait, what is that? Like, what does that mean? Like, does that mean I'm going to be on chemo for like the rest of my life if I can't get these drugs? So my next appointment came and I asked him this question that was kind of like on my mind a lot, and it was kind of really bugging me and just kind of, I wouldn't say set me back, but set me in that mind of like, of just being defeated again, or just like, I don't know. So I asked him, I was like, so when you tell me that there's no specific drug in New Mexico to target my cancer, does that mean I will be on chemo for the rest of my life? And right now I'm doing chemo every other week. That's like twice a month, I think. And that's kind of, it takes a toll on your body, and especially like after effects or long-term effects from chemo. Like, I don't know what that will entail. So it's kind of not scary, but it's just like, there has to be another way. And so I asked him, I was like, so because of that, does that mean I'm going to be on chemo for the rest of my life? And he just kind of just, yeah, that kind of nod like, I'm sorry, but yeah. I'm just like, and then it makes me mad, but then I get mad, but when I get mad, sometimes I just start to cry because I just get so mad, and life is just not, to me right now, life is just not fair. And it's like it just keeps coming with these blows, and I'm just like, can't something just work out for once? Like, wouldn't it be a miracle if like someone decided to do a drug trial in New Mexico and it was specific for my cancer? That would be freaking amazing. But now I have to figure out if I can be a part of these drug trials and get these drugs so I don't have to be on chemo for the rest of my life. Like, it's just, it's one thing after another, and with this whole diagnosis, and I'm just, honestly, I'm tired. I feel like I've been fighting since my first diagnosis. I feel like I've been fighting every single day since my first diagnosis back in 2019. And it's just, I'm tired of fighting. I'm just tired. But I just wish life would just stop being a pain in the ass, is what it is. But you know what? You get dealt the life you have, so. And for me, unfortunately, I got dealt the shitty card, so. But as much as I say I'm tired of fighting, I'm tired of chemo, I'm tired of it, I'm just tired of it all. I really won't stop fighting. I won't. I could be as tired as I want to be, but I won't stop fighting. Nope. If there's a will, there's a way. And I will find a way to get myself those drugs that are specific to my cancer. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. But I can, as much as I say it's shitty going through this, I know I can do it. I can take the blows life throws at me. I've been doing it, so come on. I don't know what else to say, but it's just how I feel at the moment. I'm just tired. Like, my body, especially after when I do chemo, I lose all my energy, and and then the bone pain that comes along with it is it's horrible. And it's just tough, I would say. But after receiving the news of the graph that I showed you, I went back home and I started to do like research, talking with a family friend of holistic ways to help treat this, because there are natural ways that I've come across of my research that people have done and have beat cancer, and they've lived a long time from the cancer. I decided to be part of this program called Square One, and it's basically foods that will help your body kind of nutrients for, I don't know why I can't say that word, nutrients for your body, or nutritious stuff, there you go, for your body, that help heal your body with food and stuff like that. And I know there's some people are like, no, it doesn't work. Okay, well, find what works for you, and I'm finding what works for me. And that's all I gotta say. And so I've been a part of that, and just YouTubing other cancer survivors and their stories. I came across one lady, and she said that your mind is the biggest factor in getting better and beating cancer, because the mind is a powerful thing. And so every morning she would tell herself, like, my body's healing itself, my body's beating the cancer, my body is healing the cancer, stuff like that. She'd tell herself that every single day. And she had other stuff that she was doing to help as well, that I've researched and talked to with the family friend that's helping me along this holistic journey, but also doing like my chemo and all that too, and all the meds I take as well. like I said, I'm doing everything and anything to beat this because like I said, I'm not going down without a fight. So I will be doing anything I can. And so that played a big factor in changing my mindset, and I've changed my diet. Cut out a lot of stuff that I've read upon that's really bad for you, especially if you're going through cancer. And I also changed my mindset into a more positive one. I talked to myself in the mirror too. There was one time I was talking to myself in the mirror and I literally went like that. Then I just started laughing because I was like, did I really just do that to myself in the mirror? But I've been speaking more positively to myself and to my body, just saying what that lady said, like, my body's going to heal itself. My body's going to heal itself from this cancer. My body is going to be healthy. My body is healing. My body will rid me of this, just stuff like that. Talking to your body, talking to yourself. And with all this that I've been reading, I've never realized how powerful the mind is and how powerful self-talk and how powerful positive self-talk and talking to yourself makes a difference to you mentally and emotionally. So that's been helping a lot. But there are times where those other thoughts do slip in here and there, and it's gonna happen. I know it is. As positive as I can be, those thoughts will make an appearance here and there and be about death and stuff like that. It's just one of those things that lingers in the back of your mind is that. And I know some women, they don't even think about that. They're like, nope. But we're all different. We all handle our diagnoses differently. And so that's helped a lot. Changing my diet, I pretty much lost over 50 pounds now. And those who haven't seen me in a while and then see me, they can tell that I've gotten really, really thin. Not like super thin, but 50 pounds is a lot. So with that, because I'll admit I was overweight, and so losing this weight kind of helps me get on that track of being healthier, making different healthier decisions and everything like that. So as I said before, that's pretty much everything in my update. I did come across this one video on TikTok of this girl, or not girl, woman I should say, that has stage 4 breast cancer as me as well. And she's just making a TikTok telling people, stop scrolling, like, this is my Make-A-Wish type thing. And she enrolled back into school. And that was her motivation to keep going, to keep fighting this. And so when she said that, she basically was telling everybody, like, if you have stage 4, if you have breast cancer or anything like that, keep living life. Keep living. Keep doing what you want to do. Keep living life. Live life. She's like, I'm going back to school. And I didn't think I would do that with my diagnosis. She's like, but look, here I am. And I'm just like, that is definitely the mindset to have, is to keep living life. And I think that's another thing that stays on my mind is statistically, as my doctor said, I have 1 to 5 years, but I don't plan to just have 1 to 5 years. I plan to have more than that, and that's what I'm striving for. But in the back of my head, I do think about it, like, what if I do have 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? I don't want to look back and see that I didn't live life, that I just sat there, do treatments, and just, you know what I mean? I don't want to look back and be like, man, I didn't really do anything. I was just so in my head. I was scared. I was this, I was that. I didn't go out and do stuff. I didn't, you know what I mean? So that's what lives in my head. I don't want to look back at my life and be like, man, I could have done so much more, but instead I just let my diagnosis take over, and that was it. So, but that's the update so far. I wanted to throw that little thing in there because it was good to see someone else in my, I don't know how bad her stage 4 is or where it's at, but it was just nice to see someone else with stage 4 breast cancer and being told by them, like, hey, live your life, go do it, go do something, go do this, go do that, like, just live life. So I needed to see that, I should say. So thanks for watching this video, watching another update. Hopefully I will have more consistent updates instead of making you wait for months and questioning where I'm at. And yeah, so I'm sorry about that. I know I have people on YouTube who are following my journey and they get worried if I don't post a video. And so I'm really sorry. I try to post updates as much as I can. I'm just not really good with the whole blogging or vlogging, whatever you call it. I don't know. So, but I just want to thank everybody who's been following me this far. I know sometimes I feel like I'm alone, but that's only because in my head when I'm thinking, I can only hear my thoughts and everything like that. So that's why I feel like I'm alone, but I know I'm not alone, because the outpour of people that have come during my fundraisers, or people just sending me messages to check on me, see how I'm doing, or people just like, yeah, it's amazing how many people you never realized before are in your corner and fighting alongside you. So I thank all of you that are continuing to follow my journey, continuing to watch these videos, continuing to hear me babble on about my life. Because I know sometimes it can just be, I don't know. But yeah, thanks again. And as always, if you can donate. If you can't, you can't. But if you can share it. I would love that. And with everything going on in this world, stay as positive as you can and just keep looking forward. Bye.